All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson. So, before I get into this, if you are a Rose Namajunas fanboy, fangirl, or simp, cover your ears. This is your trigger warning right now. All right, here we go. Forget Rose Namajunas. Forget her. The fight to make right now for the strawweight title is Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. That is the fight to make right now while you can. Listen, Yan has the momentum. She's on a 6-fight win streak in the UFC, including just beating number 4 ranked Claudia Gadelha. She hasn't lost in 10 years. She has all the momentum in the world going for her right now. On the other hand, Rose Namajunas is 1-1 in the last 2.5 years. 2 fights in 2.5 years. One of them being a knockout loss, and then the other being a rematch in which she barely scraped by and almost got finished in the 3rd round. So Rose does not have the momentum going for her. Yan has all the momentum going for her. Also, the narrative for Zhang versus Yan is building right now, okay? Yan has been talking about fighting Zhang Weili for a while, okay? She's been talking about it for a while. Also, the coaches on both teams have been talking about a potential fight between the two in interviews. Then, last night, the commentary team was setting up the narrative for Yan versus Zhang to challenge Zhang Weili during the fight as Yan was fighting Claudia Gadelha. So the narrative is already being set up by the commentary team themselves. Okay? Listen, the hype for this fight writes itself. You have the first ever Chinese champion taking on only the 2nd ever Chinese title challenger. You put that fight in China and it is huge. You don't even have to put that fight on in China. If you have to bring them both to the UFC, put it on at a time that is conducive to having the Chinese audience watching. The hype writes itself. Also, they're both former training partners. They've trained together. They've trained in the same gym. They've been on the same team. Boom, two former training partners. The storyline writes itself, okay? Listen, you gotta make this fight while the opportunity presents itself. Why would you risk one of these two fighters taking an L right now? Especially Zhang. If Zhang loses that title, then this fight loses so much luster. I mean, it would still be a great fight, but there's just not that extra oomph going for it. Make it right now. Zhang still has the title. Yan has that momentum going. Why risk it? And then finally, look, Rose is always hurt. Always hurt. That's why her versus Zhang hasn't been booked yet. She's hurt. Again. She's always hurt. Always. Takes constant long breaks between fights, usually because of injuries. Excuse me. And when she isn't injured, she's questioning why she fights. She's questioning her will to fight. Listen, who wants that as a champion? Someone who's injured all the time, and when they're not injured, they're wondering why they fight. Why do you want that as a champion? That does not make a good champion. That does not make a marketable champion. If you don't want to fight, then don't fight. Retire already. I certainly don't want to watch a champion that's constantly talking about, I don't even know why I want to fight. That's when she's not injured all the time. So listen, Rose, why bother with her at this stage? Why? I don't see it. I just don't see it. Okay? So those are some quick reasons why the UFC should book Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan for the title. And notice how I didn't even have to bring up the white elephant in the room, Chinese money. We all know the UFC wants that, but I don't even have to really bring that up to justify this matchup. So let's get it done, UFC, and all the Rose fanboys can get lost. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Like the video, give it a like. If you don't like it, well, then give it a thumbs down. Guess what? Either way, I'm still getting the interaction. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.